The IELTS test consists of 4 parts which correspond to 4 skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Hey there, I'm Thao, and I'm an IELTS instructor at Efis English. Are you taking an IELTS test? If yes, stay with us. Today we're going to talk about the very basics about the structure of the IELTS academic test. The IELTS test consists of 4 parts which correspond to 4 skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. You will take 3 tests, namely listening, reading, and writing in one go on the same day. And on the other day, either before or after the written part, you will have your speaking exam. So let's start from the listening test. There are 4 parts in it with 10 questions each, and you have a total of 40 minutes for the test, 30 minutes for the actual test, and 10 minutes for you to transfer your answer to the answer sheet. The first 2 parts deal with everyday social context, while the other 2 are set in an educational and training environment. In parts 1 and 3, you'll be listening to a conversation between 2 speakers, while in part 2 and 4, there is a monologue. And all recordings will be played only once. So let's move on to our next part, which is the reading part. In the reading part, you will have 3 different reading passages. They can be either descriptive or analytical. They can also be factual or discursive. And the texts are taken from books, newspapers, and magazines. For your reading test, you will have 1 hour for all 3 parts, and you will have 1 hour for your reading test for all 3 parts, including the time when you need to transfer your answers. There are a total of 40 questions in this IELTS test too. As for the writing test, there are 2 tasks in your writing test, and you have only 1 hour for both of them. In writing task 1, you'll have to describe and summarize the given information in either a graph or a chart, map, or also a diagram. And you'll have to write a minimum of 150 words in your task 1. Also, it is recommended to spend around 20 minutes on this task. In writing task 2, you'll be given a topic, and you'll have to write a discursive essay based on that topic. It could be that you'll have to give your opinion on some specific issues, or maybe analyze the advantages and disadvantages of them, or analyze the problems and give solutions to them. You will have to write a minimum of 250 words here, and it is recommended to spend around 40 minutes on your essay. And finally, your speaking test. Basically, your speaking test is an interview between you and the examiner, and it lasts for around 15 minutes, not more than that. There are 3 parts in your speaking test. In part 1, the examiner will ask you some general questions about yourself and some questions on familiar everyday topics like interest, hometown, food, and stuff like that. This part will last for around 4 to 5 minutes. In part 2, you'll be given a card where you have to talk on a specific topic that is written on that card. After the examiner gives you a card, you will have 1 minute to brainstorm about it a bit, or maybe take some notes, and after that you'll be speaking for 1 to 2 minutes. After the examiner stops you, they will also ask you some additional questions related to the things that you just said. This part lasts around 3-4 minutes. And finally, in part 3, you'll be discussing some issues related to the topic in your part 2, but in a more general and abstract way. Moreover, usually you'll be required to give deeper answers and less personal as opposed to the ones that you have in part 1. And yeah, this part also lasts for around 4-5 minutes, and that's it. That was the structure of the speaking test, and I think we just covered everything. Hope that was helpful, and see you in our next video.